CHGO Wrestling is officially in your face and in your ears and on your airwaves and however you're consuming this. Thank you. What up, y'all? Big Dave, CHGO Bulls. That is special advocate down there, my main man, Greg Boysen. On the ones and twos, per usual, is my man, Sean Anderson. And this gentleman right here, sitting in the middle chair, so you know he is important. You see the hair, you see the beard. He is ready. Former Blackhawk and a huge wrestling fan, Brandon Perlini, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
If you watched when Brendan was on Blackhawk, CHGO Blackhawks a couple weeks ago, he spotted us walking out of Studio B and shouted at us. So
first thing,
when a former Blackhawk who has an NHL hat trick says he wants to be on your show, and then he says he has CM Punk stories, you say, yes, come please be on our show.
Yes.
So I walk into the studio last time, they're like, yeah, this is where we're gonna shoot and stuff. Immediately see the belt out front, and I'm like, what's going on in there? Oh, that's the wrestling podcast. I'm like,
the fun show.
I want to get on that one right away. Like, get me on that.
He's like, no.
So I don't know if you guys see me. I was kind of
we saw you.
Oh, we saw you.
We saw. So and then I seen you guys come out, and once you come out, I was like, man, I gotta say something for sure. So I'm glad you boys can have me on, and no, thank you, man. This is awesome.
No, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Like you said, I was looking through the glass and I was like, who's my man right there? I keep looking through Greg, and he was like, oh no, he's a huge wrestling fan from Blackhawk. I was like, oh. And it wasn't crossing my mind to think like, oh, you would want to come on this little podcast that we're doing. Yeah, but like you said, as soon as we walked out, you were like, hold up. Don't take another step.
Oh, for sure.
Talk to me for a second. Y'all do wrestling? Yes, we do wrestling.
For sure, yeah. And it's like especially the last couple of years, I feel like wrestling is just, I mean, you guys know, it's kind of almost at an all-time high right now. Yeah. So really been into it and gotten other people into it. And even, I showed you guys off camera my girlfriend's outfit for the WrestleMania party and stuff. And I'm so glad I can come on and just shoot the shit about some wrestling.
Now, did you get her totally into it? Like, was she not in it before?
Oh, yeah. Don't even bring up Travis Scott's name or The Rock right now. That is a source. If you want to be punched in the face by her, that's a sore subject. Sorry, off camera. But do not even bring up those two names.
It's a sore subject.
That's like saying Voldemort. Like, Travis Scott.
We got lucky enough to be. Dave and I, thanks to this wonderful gentleman over there, we've got to go to WrestleMania this year.
Oh,
so we were there. We were sitting in the crowd when all that nonsense happened, and we were kind of just like, what the hell are we watching?
Yeah.
First of all, who the hell is that? And why?
Yeah. What is this title? He's holding hardcore. I've never seen that one.
We weren't a fan of any of that either.
No,
for sure. I feel like so I kind of quick backstory. I got her into it. The prior one where Cody finally ends up winning.
Okay.
So I said to her at the time I was playing in Charlotte in the AHL, and I'm like, oh, WrestleMania is coming up like this weekend. We should do a little party. Like, so she was cooking. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on in my apartment, and what a time for like to introduce someone into it at the biggest event of like Cody's finishing the story. She like hops on the train at that time. So and then the whole buildup of the last year, like coming in. Now we were really pumped again to watch it, and just that ending. Like I remember. So I was still over in Switzerland at the time, and we were playing in the playoffs and stuff, and I think I had a game one of the nights, and then I said, okay, the next day, like obviously they're 6-7 hours ahead, and I was like, I'm not gonna go on my phone all day until I can watch it, out of her or someone else texting me the results. And finally, I think she was sitting by the phone for like a day or something, just waiting for me to finish it. And I finally called her, and I was like, what was that ending? I enjoyed the whole show, but that was a wild one for sure.
Yeah, it was for sure. Yeah. And I think in hindsight, the fact that happened, your biggest match of the year, and then you kind of just like, oh, let's pretend that never happened. It's kind of like, where were you going to take it? And they kind of just were like, what match?
I don't
Never
know
happened.
too. Yeah,
Travis who? Never heard of him.
What's a Travis Scott? Yes.
I don't know if you guys are like, I'm a big Marvel guy too.
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm a big Marvel guy.
Right now, like, hey, if there's another Marvel podcast, I'll jump on that too. We don't
have that
got
yet.
time for that.
We don't have that yet.
Hey, let's go, me and you. Let's start up.
He'll be in too. Greek G will be in on that.
Awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
So, like the last couple of years with Marvel, everything, it's like, okay, where is this connecting right now,
Yes.
right? And the
Yes.
multiverse stuff, and
Yes.
so I'm very like, I watch all these guys on YouTube break everything down and stuff, and I feel like with wrestling, that was the thing where I'm like, man, what is? The Rock comes in, then he's not, then I'm like, where is this going?
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone always kind of says, oh, like, trust the long-term thing or whatever, but just in my mind right now, you're sort of like trying to piece it together like the Marvel thing, right? So
right.
that's where I kind of, left off with it.
And you were kind of giving them that leeway as far as the long-term storytelling because it was The Rock. It was John Cena turning heel. That's a huge deal right there, involving Cody Rhodes, all of that stuff. You're like, oh, man, Mania's about to be crazy. Like, I can't wait to see what goes down. And the best night was the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the way they ended that story and moved on, but with Seth Rollins and everything like that. But, yeah, that was a complete just... We're confused.
I just remember where our seats were. We were kind of like right in line with the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while that match was going on, we saw the camera guys start to go to the ramp. So everybody there was like, "Ooh, it's going to be The Rock. It's going to be The Rock."
Yeah.
And then that stupid song hits, and out comes Travis Scott, and literally everybody was just looking at each other like, the fuck is this? that's not The Rock.
Yes.
Even too, I was waiting as well because the last time, what was it when he first did it, Elimination Chamber?
Yes.
Travis comes out and they did the little remix thing, and then they did The Rocks, and I'm
they
like,
did.
actually, that was kind of sick.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, I'm waiting for The Rock. If you smell, and I'm just like, okay. And now he's like slowly walking down. I'm like, maybe they're gonna do it when he hits to the ring.
Yeah.
Then he kind of gets up on the ring. I'm like, man, what?
Okay,
the
now
hell?
he's hit him with the belt. Maybe he'll come
Right,
out.
right.
Okay, they count at 3. Maybe he's still
Right.
gonna come
Yeah,
out.
it was-
Where is
Bro,
he?
you should have saw me because I'm looking back at the ramp like, okay, no, this ain't it.
Yeah.
I'm saying in my head like, no,
This
it's not
is
it.
where's
It's not
the
it.
rest of it?
Yeah, like something else is happening, and I'm like,
It was a
nothing else
disappointment.
And then I'm kind of even fine, like, if, okay, you do that or whatever, but just I'm waiting for the follow-up, right? Of like,
Yes.
next couple nights he goes on Raw or something. Travis comes out, now he's a big player in it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no real follow-up to it. But
No payoff, no anything, man. Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So Jelly Roll's taking his spot
Jelly
now.
Roll
Yeah.
taking the spot, which I know Greg is a huge fan about. He can't wait to watch
I
this.
can't wait.
He's uberly
I hope
excited.
that's on Saturday, not Sunday,
That's a great point.
because we're doing the live watch along on Sunday.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And I don't want to watch that match live.
I kind of wanted to have it now on Sunday.
Yeah.
It would make for quality television for me.
I don't know. I'm kind of over the whole. Let's take our biggest events of the year and give some spots to some dudes who've never done it.
To be fair,
when you've got guys and ladies who have bust their ass 365 to get on that card aren't going to get on that card because Jelly Roll needs more money. Give me a break.
To be fair,
Leave
it
the
is
wrestling
what
to the
they've been
wrestlers.
doing since the beginning. Since
Right, I
like
get
WrestleMania
it.
1.
I understand
They've been
that.
doing
Yeah.
that, bro, with Mr. T and Cindy Lauper.
Yeah.
Put
Muhammad
Jelly Roll on
Ali.
Saturday.
Yeah, bro.
Put
Yeah.
Jelly Roll on Saturday night's main event. Don't put him on SummerSlam.
Yeah, but also too, like they were building WrestleMania at that point. They've done 40 of them.
Sure.
They don't need
and
it
they
as
haven't
much,
changed,
yeah.
though. Like, stars are going to be a part of it. With Travis Scott, for God's sakes. Like,
That's fair, but like I liked when it was Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show because the Big Show wasn't doing anything. It wasn't
Floyd
the
Mayweather's a
world title
athlete.
picture.
Yeah.
He's not.
And he
he's
broke
not
his
a
face, yes.
Country guy, rapper guy who's never done it before.
I mean, but if this didn't have, we wouldn't get guys like Bad Bunny to get out there and do his thing. Bad Bunny is incredible. You know what I'm saying, in the
that's
ring.
true.
So even Logan Paul, who
Wow.
we don't like at all,
If
but
I don't
Logan,
get, if
he's
I don't
a great
get,
wrestler.
if I don't get a Vader style moonsault on the Jelly Roll, I'm right.
You won't be with it. But man,
awesome.
You, sir, are a huge CM Punk fan. You
Yeah.
tell me hence why
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shirt
Han's
and
gotta
everything like
represent.
that.
Yeah.
But one of the other first things you said to me when we were talking was you had a CM Punk story.
Yeah,
you couldn't wait to tell. So
I mean,
the floor is yours.
You know what? It's not. I'm not gonna pump it up too much, but just got the pleasure to meet him, and hence I'm sure they'll pop the picture up on screen there. Look how young I was, no beard there,
no beard.
And the funny, so that's I'll give the whole backstory here, but
please.
That's actually in a locker room. Funny enough, so he was training for the UFC at the time.
Okay.
And there was some big heavy hitters in that group. Luke Rockhold. I forget who the heck the other guy is. The name's not coming to me, but very cool gym that we train at in Arizona. And there was always you'd see, football guys walking one day. Michael Phelps would walk in. There was always really cool athletes. And these UFC guys came out for a week. And I just remember kind of working out and looking over it, and I'm like, man, is that CM Punk over there? I didn't really know he was getting into the UFC stuff at the time. And so over the course of the week, I'm like, man, I'm sure that's him. I gotta meet him or whatever. Same way I saw you guys out a little bit. And
are you comparing us to CM Punk? Is crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
But thank you. I'll take it.
And so it ends up kind of being here where there's a big lunch area, and they would cater your meals and get your meals done, and you kind of just sit like this and watch the TV, and there'd be highlights of football or basketball or whatever. I think the NHL playoffs were on at the time, and he just ended up sitting down with our 3-4 guys in group and asking about the Blackhawks, talking hockey or whatever, and it was a really cool little moment. And then we kind of did that over the course of a couple days. I don't even know if he would remember this at all, and by the end of the week, I was like, man, I gotta I just kept I was way too chicken to ask for a photo at the time, and I was like, I gotta ask, because I used to play one game I played religiously was I think it was SmackDown 09, SmackDown versus Raw 09, and they had a story of it was Road to WrestleMania, and he was on that. I just remember playing that when I was 12, 13 years old or whatever, and always crushing that. So I'm like, I gotta get a picture with him. Nice enough, we're showering up in the room. Why ask for a picture when everyone's naked? I'm like, hey dude, and I said too at the time, I was like, yeah, my buddies are big wrestling fans. You mind if I get a picture? Played it off like that.
What's his name, Brendan?
But honestly, such a great guy. Really enjoyed my time over the week, just talking with him and stuff, and very down to earth, kind of I guess tells it how it is to an extent. And ever since after that, he always kind of would message me online and follow my career a little bit. And then obviously when I got traded here, he's a big hockey guy and fan of the Blackhawks, and totally said, hey, wish you best of luck, blah blah, and we just keep in touch. And ever since COVID too, I don't even think at that time he wasn't even on Instagram. And then I always kind of do these Q&A stuff on Instagram, and we'll shout him out a little bit, and then we always end up going back and forth. And the funny one again, if you want to pop on screen there, of the gloves, I just said this, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, I did another kind of Q&A online, and I said fun fact, I actually write on my gloves an X because of him doing the X on there. I just do fun things like that with my equipment. Sometimes I'll do different. I'm a big soccer guy too, so sometimes I'll mark my sticks. You go through a lot of equipment, so to kind of keep track of your stuff, I'll write something on it or whatever. I could write The Rock on one of my sticks or something, just so I know oh, I scored with that one that game. I'm probably not going to write Travis Scott on there, but that was a cool little nugget, story wise.
That is
being met him obviously the other day, then he sees that, he's like, oh man, that's so cool. I find it cool when athletes cross kind of into each other's thing, right?
Sure. It's very cool.
So I always kind of have this rapport with going back and forth with him. But great guy. Obviously, when all the stuff went down with AEW and all that, I'm looking at it more so of he brought me back to wrestling for years. I want to say 2014, 15, started to dip, didn't watch it as much. I felt those years, I don't know, it was just really I guess easiest way to say it is just very Vince McMahon of the time, right?
Right.
And I mean, you guys know, you know a lot more than I do in that sense. But when he was kind of rumors going around of him coming back, I mean, I wish I could show it the screenshot that I had. I took it of it was just some news report saying Punk rumors coming back at whatever the event was here in Chicago. I forget the.
It was just they're television. I actually
what's
got
the
to
name
go
of the
to
show there? Not Collision.
It was Rampage.
Yeah,
at the time.
Rampage
Yeah.
for live Rampage there. He's, rumors he's coming back.
Yeah.
I DM'd him that, and I was like, man, is this true? And he just sent back like the smiling, winky face, and I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
oh shit, like I gotta tune into this.
Yeah.
And then I seen him come back, and just the reaction and people crying and stuff, and like it hits me different too. Of like when you feel like you know someone, to that extent of, I know we had that interaction or whatnot, but like it just, I don't know, when you feel like you know someone, you kind of buy in more, you follow him more.
Sure.
You kind of almost rooting him on. I even sent him a message after Mania this year where like you could tell he was emotional in the ring, and I just said, dude, that was freaking awesome last night. Like congratulations, best luck with everything going forward and stuff. And it's cool to have a bit of that relationship, you know what I mean? So
Like that real connection with
totally. Yeah. And it just, as a fan of, the shows and himself, like it makes me, like I tune in weekly now just to see like what he's getting up to, and then that kind of brings you on to other guys, and the whole AEW thing introduced me to a ton of new guys over there, Omega and Ospreay and all those cool guys. So it's really cool. Yeah, for
having him go to AEW was big, I think, for the business, just because it legitimized AEW more, and even though it didn't work out as well as many had envisioned, but it's still, I think, as you mentioned, that 2014, 2015 time, I think a lot of people kind of fell out because there was no competition. There was nothing pushing WWE to be better. They're always better when somebody's right at their heels. And you talk about the Attitude Era, where they were forced to do that because WCW had a better product at the time. And now, I know there's a lot of tribalism. Some people are hardcore WWE, and they'll slam AEW at any chance they get, and vice versa. But me, I just like good pro wrestling, and the more of it that's on TV is better for everybody.
Yeah,
the people wrestling, the fans consuming it. It might not all, you might not like it all, but it's good that there's more options out there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've never been a huge TNA fan of, like, I knew all the guys, AJ, Samoa Joe, all those guys, but I don't know, I just never really found growing up there was like areas to watch it, like accessible like WWE. But I just watched the one on the weekend there, Slammiversary. Yeah, like I just was flicking through the TV and it was on our kind of box thing. I turned it on. Man, what great matches, and stuff. And like, shout out to like all these athletes too doing that. Of like, sometimes I feel like wrestling fans too, it's always like what's next, and it's like sometimes never good enough as well. And it's like, let's just throw a little gratitude towards like these guys in there busting their ass, putting their life on the line, of like slamming into tables and on the mat, and like,
it's not easy at all.
You go to any event. The first time I had went, so he tried to set me up with tickets in 22, right after that brawl out or whatever it's called, right? They came to town in like November, and that's when like Young Bucks came back, and they had that song. Like, shout out to them, good entrance.
For sure.
Carry on.
Well done. Yes.
So watching that was the first one I had been to, man, since I've been like 10 years old.
Wow.
And I just forgot like how good of athletes they are and physical they are, and especially on the AEW side where they're like an Ospreay. I've seen him now 3 or 4 times when they roll through here. The last time was him against I forget who he was against here, but I seen him Sting's final match. I was playing in Charlotte, an hour down the road, Greensboro Coliseum. We got back off a road trip. I'm like, man, I'm going to that next day. And it was, I think, him and Takeshka, I want to say, like, just blew my mind how good these guys are, and the flips, but like the physicality, and like it's total next level. Like it used to be just like, I mean, I thought growing up that used to be Rey Mysterio, but I'm sure you guys would say a lot of other guys, Eddie Guerrero, or a lot of other guys.
No, he was the pinnacle of it. For sure.
Yeah, and now to see all these guys, it's amazing. So there's some great, whether you like one side, the other, or whatever. I think just I like wrestling in general, and seeing
competition
guys
is good.
Yeah,
it pushes everybody to be better, and we win when that happens as fans.
That's true.
And you mentioned Punk's return. I lucky enough to get tickets for that night, and
Flex.
you know, I had been to the United Center a lot. I used to have Hawks. I had Hawks season tickets during the Cubs run, and been there, you know, covering games. The loudest that building ever was when CM Punk's music hit that night.
Man.
It was louder. And I was in the building for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final in 2015 against Tampa.
2 flexes.
It was louder than Duncan Keith's goal in that game for CM Punk.
That's
it was crazy.
Saying something.
It was crazy
That's
how that pop when that opening note of Cult of Personality hit. That place was up for grabs, and everybody knew it was going to happen too. Like they tried to like play it off like, oh, it's just a regular show, but now we're in this 21,000 seat arena for no reason whatsoever.
And I love how they didn't make you wait.
Right,
it was the first thing they did coming out. Like, we've been waiting years for this man to come back.
And then famously he gave out everybody got a CM Punk ice cream bar on the way out. It was so cool.
Did you keep any like?
I kept the wrapper. I ate the ice cream bar. It was hot that night. I still have it somewhere. I bought the T-shirt.
Cool.
You know, it says I was there. I still have that.
Yeah,
that was a fun night.
Cool.
That was one of those nights where you just like, this is why you become a wrestling fan for moments like that. It was super cool. But just that pop, I don't know if that will ever get beaten at the United Center. You know,
I'm saying a lot, bro.
You know,
a lot of great moments and concerts and teams have happened there, bro. To say that's number one, that's saying something.
I remember watching that on the TV too.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like you say, it was that loud. I remember being like, dude, why don't they turn his music up? Like you couldn't. Like the music was like sort of faint, right? Like if you watch it back again, I just remember being like, it sounds like they got it on kind of low.
That's the fans.
Obviously.
No, they had the mics up on the fans, which was smart too.
Yeah.
And that was insane. Like it was vibrating. The building was vibrating.
So cool.
I like when those moments kind of transcend wrestling, because when that happened, like I'm hearing from friends who don't watch wrestling or telling me about it. Like, man, what is this CM Punk thing that I'm hearing about at the United Center? You know, and they want to know more about what's going on. Like, that's the cool thing about wrestling, is just, you know, how it can unite. Like, because I met so many people and so many friends that don't live here in this country, but the connection is actually wrestling. You know what I mean? And you can say with New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's the same thing. Like, guys don't even speak the language, but there's a language going on when they're in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Having those fights, man. So I always feel like it's just such a great connector. You know, it's similar to, you know, many sports that you have, but it's something different, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to wrestling, as you saw it when we went to Mania.
Yeah, no, for sure. The wrestling community is fun because it's, you know, when you have your sports, if you're, you know, a huge Blackhawks fan or you're a huge Bulls fan or whatever, it's like you're always with that team. That's your team. That's your ride or die, you know. But in wrestling, it's more of like, you know, it changes. Like 1 second, that guy's your favorite, and then he does something, you're like, oh, I hate that guy so much. It's kind of cool how, like, even though, you know, with hockey or basketball, any of the real sports, there's that element of surprise. You don't know what's going to happen next. And even in pro wrestling, where, like, you kind of can predict what's going to happen most of the time, but even when it happens and they pull it off, you're still like, wow, that was even though I totally knew that's what they were going to do, they still did it in a way where I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It's a funny, like, wrestling is funny too, right? I don't know if you guys notice this, where people are there's so many closet wrestling fans, like, who don't say, like, they don't come out and say, like, yeah, I watch wrestling or whatever. But hey, I just had it with a buddy the other day, and he's like, oh man, I seen, like, you posted a CM Punk thing on there, like, it's pretty cool what's been going on with him. Hey, I'm like, dude, you watch wrestling? Why don't you tell me, man?
We could have been hanging out months ago.
Yeah, I would have invited you over to the house, like, and watch some shows and stuff. But like, there is a lot of people out there where it's, I don't know, there's sort of a weird thing of, like, they don't like to, like, say they like it, that like the NBA or whatever, right? But I feel like most people grow up watching shows, or you know, especially as kids, you're so drawn to it, and the characters and even, like, just, man, when you take a bigger look at the production and, like, going city to city and how they keep these storylines going, it's really, like, you know, you take Superman just released,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Took a year and a half to make the movie, and it's
Yeah.
like they're making like little movies, obviously a TV show,
Sure.
but every week, like
Yeah.
they're doing, and they're on the go, and then they're in this place and they're in that place, and the full team of writers, and sometimes it doesn't always hit of,
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes people got to understand that too, of like,
Yeah.
hey, not every Superman movie or every Batman movie is always a big hit. Like, it's just, that's reality, and you learn, and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe like the Travis Scott thing or whatever, that didn't really go the way we went, but let's do something different next time or whatever,
yeah.
right? So I kind of try to keep that outlook when watching. Sometimes I get so drawn into it where I'm
Sure,
like,
yeah.
man, why didn't they just do it? Like, you know, you try and write the show yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know,
And this is why we do this show. It's
Yeah,
to complain
yeah,
about that. And then, like, we'll come back next week and
Yeah.
talk about it again, man. Absolutely.
That's great.
So, what, for you, it seems like you've been into wrestling for, you know, a while. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's your, like, first kind of wrestling memory for you where you just kind
man.
of fell in love with it?
Okay, so back in the day, like I grew up in the UK in England, and one of the earliest, I would just say, wrestling memories is we played, it was SmackDown 2 religiously. Like myself, my brother, another friend in the UK, we just played that game every day, and that got us so, that was on, like, I think that was on PlayStation 1 or something, maybe 2, but I want to say it was 1.
Okay.
Just ran as the Hardys all the time.
Hardys,
you know,
yeah.
they were the guys, right? Jumping
Yeah.
off, you know, ladders, all that.
Yeah.
And then it was just to the trampoline. Okay,
Yeah.
who's the smallest? Let's pedigree him off of this, or you know, let's suplex him. And it was
Yeah.
like we were, you know, doing some funny stuff, and even like a lot of the times, like nobody in our friend group owned a trampoline, so we used to sneak next door to this one family's house, and they probably still don't know. Shout out to the family today. I don't even know their names, but like quick
Appreciate
funny
you.
story here. We had this, like, it was like a, do you guys know what a shed is? Like,
Shed, yeah,
I mean, I didn't know if that was English lingo. Sorry, my
no, you
language
good, you
sometimes
good,
between
yeah.
English, American, Canadian.
It's all good, man.
I cut it. So we had this shed in the backyard, and we would like jump off of that onto the trampoline on, like, over our fence onto their side. So you kind of had to move this, like, we had this brush there, like there were a bunch of trees, and you'd have to, like, one guy would hold the stuff and he would jump. And so he's like, my friend's like, man, I'm gonna do like just a frog splash from here. What do you think? You think I can make it? I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, so he's like, you gotta get like a little bit of a run and jump to like get there. So he does a little run and jump off the thing, and as I'm pulling the thing like back for him to jump, he's like mid, like, you know how Eddie used to do his little pump,
Yes.
right? He's like mid pump in the air, and as I'm moving the thing, I'm like, oh shit, they were having a family barbecue in the backyard. So I swear to God, I've never seen this before. He somehow adjusted mid-air. He went, bam, landed one bounce, and came back over the fence like that. He was
Yo.
able to,
Wait a
came
minute.
flying back over the fence, like onto the shed,
What?
and flew on his ass behind us. Dude, we never laughed so hard in my life, man. Honestly, we still talk about that to this day. It was
That
so
is
funny.
impressive.
It was so funny.
That is not how I thought that was about to end.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, something bad just happened.
Oh,
right here.
and we still, like, you know, they probably thought, like, what the hell was that, right? Like, guy just jumped, frog splash on the thing and straight back over.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
that was, like, you know, early memories of wrestling for us guys, and for me, like, we always doing something in the backyard, and then it just, around that time, you know, those were early 2000s.
Yeah.
John Cena was on the rise and stuff, but our guys were like, the Hardys, that early days of, like, early 2000s era, obviously Stone Cold, Rock, all them
Right,
too.
right.
But yeah, that's earliest memories of wrestling for us, for sure.
I mean, I think everybody who became a wrestling fan as a kid has a story like that. There's always been a Royal Rumble in somebody's basement or backyard.
Yes.
Where
yes.
you know someone's still got the scars to prove it.
Yeah, I'm about to say mine didn't end as cool as that.
Yeah,
for
I
that
know.
person. I was
Mine
with, man.
usually ended with somebody getting stitches. And,
Yes, correct.
Somebody not being allowed to come over for a couple of months.
That's great.
But yeah, everybody's got that story where we never paid attention to that. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah,
Screw that. I'm doing it
Oh,
twice.
yeah.
Doing it 2 times.
It just made you want to do it even
Exactly.
more.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, man. So
really did,
now
yeah.
you got SummerSlam coming up. You know what I mean? I'm sure you'll be looking at it sometime.
Yeah.
Is there a match you're really kind of looking forward to?
Oh, man.
I'm sure like that CM Punk Gunther match.
Yeah. I like
mind.
that. Truthfully, like, I'm a huge fan of I like the high flyers, man. Like, always been a fan of Mysterio. I mentioned Will Ospreay. Like, he's probably one of the best guys, if not the best guy I've ever seen live.
Wow.
Yeah, I like those guys. Let's see, who else is out there? I mean, Roman's obviously coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head, name me a couple more matches. I'm kind of drawing a blank here.
Cena, Cody.
Yeah, Cena, Cody, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm not a huge, like, I guess, stickler for anything. I try to take it as it is. Even the celebrity one there, I kind of want to see, like, what's Jelly Roll like, does he have it or not?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Some guys are great, as you know, like Logan Paul or something. Like, I give him mad respect, and then some guys are like, ooh, like, this is Floyd against Big Show, right? Where it's not, like, it's a bit more of a circus.
I'm gonna make a sandwich during that match.
I'm interested to see, I
want to see too.
Yeah, especially Randy involved. I'm a big fan of his too. I like
Plus
his
just
stuff.
knowing that he lost a ton of weight just to do this.
Yeah, that's
you know
cool.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to have that be your inspiration to actually get out there in the ring and do something. I mean, that says a lot to me. Like, I really care about what I want to do out here. Like, I don't want to just go out here and do anything and be in circus.
Off the top of my head, I just thought of this, who I'm a real big fan of now. Like, shout out to Io Sky.
Io Sky, yes, sir.
I think she's
great.
Killing
Yeah,
it.
she's amazing, bro.
Like, I know, I've always kept one eye, obviously, on the women's stuff. I don't really pay, like, a whole lot of attention to theirs. But that one, like, her, Ripley, and what was it? Was it Three-Way at Mania? Or
oh, yeah. Oh, God, who am I forgetting?
and Bianca, was it?
Naomi. Was it Naomi?
It was Bianca at Mania.
Oh, it was Mania. Yes, it was Bianca.
Dude, that
that was the match of that night.
Great.
Yes, absolutely.
That was so
dude.
good. So, and I love her little entrance too. It's like, you guys ever watch Shang-Chi?
No, I haven't.
No, man, like, it just kind of gives me the vibes. Like, the music, her entrance music gives me like Shang-Chi vibes. They do a sick fighting scene. I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but early on, 5 minutes into the movie, they do a great scene. Like, he's on a bus and he fights this guy, and it's like kind of this Asian, like, dun 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 dun. Like, it's a good vibe.
They always
like,
have dope.
watch it, man. Yeah, you'll like it. And her entrance music, when that hits, I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. It's just cool. It's different.
She won me over when was it Survivor Series where she jumped off the cage with the garbage can.
The war games.
That's when I was like,
yeah.
this girl's crazy and I like it.
Yeah, because you have to have a little of that to be, a really great wrestler. A little of that, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? To be really great.
She's great. I mean, SummerSlam should be a fun event. The 2 nights. See how that turns out.
Yeah, it's their first time doing the 2
obviously
nights.
they've been throwing a curveball with Seth Rollins getting hurt. That everything about that just sucked because that's my guy in WWE. That's like the reason. I'll whatever they got him doing, I'm going to pay attention to. I think he's the complete package.
Is it fair to say he's modern day Triple H?
A little bit, yeah, I think so. I mean, he's definitely a guy that, like, when they needed somebody to carry the company, he can do it. But he's also okay putting the next guy over. But just with coming out of Mania, that was really the only thing that I was really, like, interested in, with the whole Paul Heyman thing, and then he brings in Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and just to have him get hurt just doing a regular simple move, that sucks. So now they got to kind of throw a curveball at things.
Yeah. Twist and pivot. Are you guys are you big Roman fans?
I am just following, his growth, because I still remember with nobody was a big Roman fan, and they were just kind of trying to push him, on everyone. And the very first WrestleMania I went to was Roman versus Undertaker in that match. And then the next night when he got booed for like 10 minutes straight, and he just said, "This is my yard now," and then walked out. I just like, man, I don't know how he comes back from this. People just really, really hate this guy. And then just that character change, of being the tribal chief. And I've said this, and I'm on record, and I'm going to continue to say this, bro. That should have been nominated for an Emmy. It was that good. That storyline was that good week after week, watching the bloodline. Of course, Paul Heyman was a huge part of that. But Roman, man, just how stoic he was in it, and just how menacing he was doing it. He really looked like that unstoppable force that all great wrestlers have when they're kind of in their peak. You know, whoever you want to go back to, they always have that kind of moment where you're like, oh, ain't nobody beating this guy. You definitely saw that with Roman, man. So, yeah, watching him get his love now and everything. And, yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. I really like Jey Uso. It's just his growth and his grind.
Yeah,
the fact that
cool.
he's at this level, you know, right now is something I never saw coming at all, man. But it's really cool to see. But, yeah, I really do like Roman a lot, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Roman fan, but I respect the hell out of, you know, everything he's gone through to get where he's at. And, yeah, that bloodline, as much as towards the end I was kind of like, all right, can we move on to something else? You know, how many times is he going to get saved? But that was the point. Like, you'd get angry. And I'm like, you know, you'd watch a Roman Reigns match and you'd be like, want him to lose, and he wiggles his way out again. And I'd just be like, oh, and I'm like, damn it, they got me again. That's exactly the reaction they want. But I respect the hell out of him. I mean, he's great at what he does. He's you know, not my favorite, but, you know, I'm not going to say a bad thing to him.
Would it be fair for me to say Roman's overrated?
Please, tell us why.
I think, like, you know, and I watched, like, one of the last ones I mentioned, 2014-15. A friend invited me over. I was playing junior hockey in Niagara Falls. He said, dude, Royal Rumble's on tonight if you want to come by. So I went by. Roman wins it, gets booed, Rock comes out, whatever. And I just remember, like, what is that? And over the course, like, everything you guys said, I totally agree. I respect, you know, his change, the whole story. I enjoyed the whole story. I guess what I'm saying, though, is how many times can they keep giving the guy? It was like, you're the guy, we're going to just keep feeding you.
Yeah.
And I feel like anybody could be put in that spot. And I say this for my own profession, too, of if you're Wayne Gretzky and you play Wayne Gretzky 4 or 5 minutes of ice time every night, and you put him on the fourth line, he's not going to be Gretzky. Do you know what I mean? But if you give him every opportunity under the sun to let him thrive and to let him go, then he goes. So I guess maybe overrated is a bad word, but they certainly gave him the ball enough times to get him to the point he's at now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
it's 100%
I think, you know, maybe if you gave Cody Rhodes that same thing and gave him a good story, and he could have did that from the start, or you know, he maybe would have stayed or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. They definitely
it's an interesting one that I think of it, because some people say, oh, Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time, and I'm like, dude, they gave this guy, they gave him every damn opportunity.
Well, he was
they
definitely
stuffed him down your throat.
He was
for the last
definitely
10 years.
a Vince McMahon product, because that's what Vince McMahon wants his champion to look like.
Correct.
The big guy, the good looks. You know, not necessarily the greatest in-ring guy. Like, you can write down a Roman Reigns match exactly how it's going to go, and it's going to go that way. Yeah. In-ring, you know, as far as, like, is he a great technical wrestler? No.
Technically, no.
But what I appreciate him for, and I agree with you about how he was, you know, kind of shoved down your throat for so long. He's so good at the psychology part of it. Like, he tells a story every time he goes out there, and that's what I could appreciate him. Is he going to do any spectacular moves that make me go, oh my god, I can't? No, never. He's going to do the Superman punch. He's going to do 9 spears. You know,
but it works. Right?
But that's what he does. Yeah. But it's the little things he does. It's the slowing things down, telling the story, talking the trash,
talking plenty of shit.
All these acknowledgement stuff.
Here's my next thing to build off of that. Does he get to that point without those reps?
Probably not.
Of being in, like, being booed out of the building and being,
he evolved.
Being like, okay, this ain't working. We go to this. Okay, that ain't working. We go to, like, really, how many times did he, like, do it and fail?
Yeah,
you know, in a good way, and that's where I'm like, all credit to him, man. Of like, you know, a lot of people probably would have tucked their tail between their legs and been like, you know what, this.
that's
like, but he just kept coming back, and I mean, credit to him.
That's another beauty about the of being a pro wrestling fan, and Dave and I talk about this all the time. We have the say. And no other sport. Can you say, we don't like this, change it immediately? And they listen to you. You know, you can't get out there and boo a guy on your favorite hockey team every night, and the team's not going to go, well, they're booing him, we got to get up, we got to trade him. That's never going to happen.
Fans don't like him, he's got to go.
Or you know, no matter how much you cheer for that fourth line guy, they're not going to make him the top guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But in pro wrestling, eventually they listen to you.
Yeah, the immediacy
that's
is
a beauty
amazing.
of
The
sport.
immediate feedback is great.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to stop this, man, because we got other shows we got to do. I wish we could talk for 2 hours on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You are definitely welcome back to
Thank
do this
you.
again, man. But any final words you want to say to the wrestling fans? out
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. We got to definitely do it again for
Yes, sir.
sure. I
Yes,
would
sir.
love to. It's a pity I'm leaving this weekend. I would love to do the Summerslam show there with you guys. Or
Yeah, we got video chats if the timing works.
Yeah,
out, you know?
yeah, but then I'm gonna be like one of those fans during COVID who's tuning in. But guys, if you want to follow my socials, I'm doing YouTube content too. I'm at BubsP11 on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the rest. I do hockey content, golf content. So for any hockey and golf fans out there, tell cool stories like this, behind the scenes stuff, and yeah, man, check it out. I'm releasing kind of weekly or bi-weekly. So thanks again, guys.
Yes, I got Brittany Perlini, man. Sean Anderson, producer. My man Greg Boysen. I'm Big Dave. This is CHGO Wrestling. We'll catch y'all next time, y'all. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.